Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to the Your Final Offer Summit, where I'm asking marketing experts what their final offer would be if for some reason they were unable to work in the near future. I'm on with a special guest today. Mehrab Reza is the founder of Atlantica, which is an award-winning marketing agency that provides businesses with marketing roadmaps that take them from being ignored in the marketplace to becoming industry leaders and spreading their work. He's awarded with the 2 Comma Club Award and the 2 Comma Club X plaque, which you can see right there in the back, which is awesome, for generating over $10 million in revenue in a single funnel. Mehrab believes that more important than Facebook ads, SEO, and email marketing is your website landing page, because it's the most effective way to make you millions. He now travels the world helping business leaders create effective websites that visitors love and convert like crazy. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Thanks for taking the time.
I'm glad to be here.
I know that. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's fun to hear the response, especially with this kind of prompt from the summit. It's not a normal prompt. It is kind of intense a little bit, but it's also kind of it's a common scenario, you know? Anyways, I'm psyched for you to be on. Do you mind just telling everyone what you do real quick though, if they have never heard what you do so far?
Sure. So I run a couple businesses. We have an e-commerce business. We have a marketing agency, and I also invest. So over the last 13 years, I've created and exited some businesses, and some of those were successful exits. And a lot of the people that I created those businesses with and exited those businesses with, I basically said about a year ago this July, I said, hey, let's come together and let's create a marketing agency where we can offer people some of our expertise and teach them how they can successfully and profitably grow their own business. So this has become one of our main growth opportunities in the last year, just basically creating this marketing agency, website agency from scratch with a pre-existing team, and have been able to scale that to 7 figures within the first year.
Which is amazing, just that alone. But I also think, you know, just from kind of the background that I have, it's amazing too, super rare. I mean, it's rare enough to make $1 million that fast, and even the 10 million, but like, it's also crazy rare to have somebody who understands the marketing plus websites. Like, most people don't do that kind of stuff in the website. I feel like they just build a website and then it's there. You actually help sales come from it, which is.
Yeah. You know, if I can rant about websites for a minute here. Yeah. Usually people, you know, they figure out their offer and their goal is, okay, how do I get to ads or marketing as fast as possible? And the website is just an afterthought, or they see that as something that they just need to get up in order to get to that phase. However, an exceptional website that hooks and keeps your audience's attention is the most important and most effective business marketing and communication tool in your entire business. Why? Now, you know, I've said this before, that this notion, you know, definitely ruffles some feathers, but I believe, as somebody who understands Facebook ads and advertising, and you know, we've had huge ad spend, so I don't undervalue the importance of Facebook ads, but more important than Facebook ads or email marketing campaigns or search engine optimization, it's your website that's most effective at transforming your audience from a visitor to a paid customer. And if you think about it, you know, what's the point of doing, you know, paid advertising or organic traffic or email campaigns or even search engine optimization? And this list goes on and on. The point of all those things is to get people over to your website or your landing page. So if you run Facebook ads or Google ads, you're hoping that people will click on it, go to your website, read a little bit more, and then convert. That's the same reason why you send emails. It's, you know, when you hand out a business card, you hope that, you know, somebody checks it out, you know, sees your website link, goes and checks out your website, and then gets in touch with you. And even podcasts, right? I don't think many people know this, but podcasts were invented by radio stations because they wanted to increase traffic to their websites. So even podcasts were created for the purpose of increasing traffic and conversions on websites. So I like to say that all roads lead back to your website. Every single one of your marketing efforts, all roads lead back to your website or landing page. And that's why it's your most important business marketing and communication tool.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you're amazing at it. And with your expertise and backdrop, I'm super excited you agreed to come on the summit, and
Thank you.
give your answer with this. So like, and I know you've been in scenarios like this, and I think many have, but in the scenario of the summit, you get sick. 90 days from now, you really can't work that much. What would your final offer be?
So, yeah, I have been in this situation before. When I was 19 years old, back in 2006, I know I just gave away my age, but back in 2006, when I was 19 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a cancer of the lymphatic system, and I had tumors on both sides of my neck. I had cancer on both of my lungs and in my chest, and it was stage 4. It was very aggressive. And I didn't have a great prognosis, but I had a very good doctor, and I went through some extreme treatments that people who are older can't go through, but I was able to go through because I was younger.
Wow.
And with that, I was able to come out of it. But then it came back again, stronger than ever 4 years later. And that's when I was in the hospital for about a year and a half, going through, high dose chemotherapy, stem cell transplant, surgeries. I have had 15 surgeries from my neck to my belly button.
Whoa.
So, my surgeon, he used to joke with me every time I used to go into the operating room. He was like, I should name my kids' college fund after you. He operated on me so many times. We had a very good relationship, so it wasn't mean or anything, mean spirited or anything like that. But yeah, definitely, I've been in this situation where I had to feel like if I don't come up with something quickly and that's something that's effective, that's something that requires low maintenance. If I don't, then what position is my family going to be in?
Right.
If I'm not around? And that did, like I said to you a little earlier, when time becomes your greatest competitor, you can do a lot of great things. So that's when I got into, basically selling physical products on Amazon and Shopify, on the internet, white labeling. Then I exited that business. A bigger company bought out the label and things like that. So I've been in this situation. So going back to answering your questions, what will my final offer be? My final offer would be, this might sound cliche, but it's an online course that teaches people how to do what I know to do. And there would be 2 tracks, basically. The first track teaches people how they can create exceptional websites for their own business by understanding 5 things, basically. Number 1, what is their audience's priority initiative, which means which are the most compelling reasons that their audience decides to invest in their solution, and why others are content with the status quo, doing nothing.
Sure.
Right. The second thing, what are their success factors, right? Which describe the businesses, which describes the business or personal result that your audience expects to get from purchasing your solution. Number 3, the perceived barriers. Number 4, the buyer journey, which is all about the work your audience does to evaluate options and eliminate competition and settle on the final choice. And number 5, their decision criteria, which is, which it's all the specific attributes or features of your product or service that your audience values most to use to compare you with others. So that would be the final offer, a course that basically teaches you how to gather all this information about your audience, do this research, and create an exceptional website for your business, because that's going to be your most effective business marketing and communication tool. And, by the way, I would have like upsell after someone purchases the course and goes through a certain point, not right after they purchase. And it would offer them dozens of B2B, B2C, nonprofit, and physical product templates, website templates. And these would be examples of high converting and lucrative websites we've created for companies that we've worked with, such as Hulu, Hermes, UNICEF, Volkswagen, et cetera, et cetera. And then a second track of this course, there would be, like I said, there would be 2 tracks. One is for businesses that want to learn how to do this for themselves, or their internal marketing team wants to take these strategies and develop them for themselves. The second track of this course would be for people who want to become marketing experts and
Mm.
offer website messaging, copywriting, design services to businesses. And they would get the course that, you know, everyone would get, but they would get, you know, additional modules, extra modules, teaching them how to do what I just described and much more, like understanding buyer psychology, storytelling, copywriting, conversion, optimized design. And it would teach them how to do that, not just for one business, but for many businesses across multiple industries.
Mm.
Because it's different when you're doing this, when you're doing a website for a B2B where you know, the audience needs to be the hero of the website, or for a nonprofit where the beneficiaries are the hero. You know, so teaching them how to work with various businesses and how to do that themselves, and how to position themselves as an expert in this science and in the marketplace, and then they can go out and charge premium prices for their service. And there are more business ideas that you can spin off of just with this one course. Like, how do you then maybe certify these marketers who have gone through your course as people that these businesses who took just the course can hire to do their website, and how you can profit off of that transaction. You know, you can have a book created off of the course. You can do live seminars, traveling seminars with this course, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be the offer in a nutshell that I would create.
That's powerful. So the online course, two different areas. One, if it's just like, I'm just looking to do this for myself, and you teach those 5 aspects around how to actually do this.
Yep.
And the other, though, for the people who are trying to become marketing experts like yourself at it. So one's kind of the mechanics. You will learn a little marketing, but the other path is really like, I want to be a marketer. Teach me how to do what you're doing.
Yeah. Sure.
Powerful.
Yeah. And like I said, there's many more ideas and order bumps and, you know, upsells and things you can do. But that, in a nutshell, that's what it would be.
Would the upsell on both tracks eventually be the same? Hey, here's cool website templates for these scenarios. And
yeah.
Cool.
And you know, and another upsell is basically for the first track, you know, you've gotten your website, that you've gone through the course and done the website yourself. You can send it to me or my team for review and critique. So that's another upsell. So the possibilities are endless. And that's why, you know, I knew coming into this that a lot of people would say, well, I would create an online course. But really the magic of an online course is how many times and how many different ways can you monetize the same videos in the same online course.
Taking tons of notes here. This is awesome. Now, who would be the target for you to sell that kind of course to?
So it's small, medium, and large businesses that have gone through a funnel that I've created, and they understand, either they came in understanding how important their website is, and they're either in the middle of a redesign, or they're beginning a redesign, or they just think that, you know, I need to redo my website, or they have recently come into the realization that, hey, I did look at my website as an afterthought, and that's why my business isn't growing or isn't being profitable. And they understand that although an exceptional website is integral and it's central to any business, most websites are failing. Most websites don't make a profit. Many of them never make a profit, and they're not effective at capturing and keeping their audience's attention. So that would be my target audience, really any small, medium, or large business that wants to improve their website, improve all of their marketing results by looking at this one central thing.
Can I just point something out here real quick?
Yeah.
Everybody who's listening or watching to this now, you see how clear Mehrab has done the conversation of who he's targeting. You know, like, that's so powerful. There's so many times I'm like, hey, so who are you going to target with this? You know, or target in general. Like, I just got off a One Funnel Away training for Russell. We just closed up another One Funnel Away group. And it's always the hardest part for people to understand, is like, who is so powerful to understand. And then the rest of it kind of can come naturally because you're just solving their problems. But like, you have that really dialed in. It's not just a business in these scenarios. It's, they already know a website is important. They already know they need a website. They're already possibly in the motion of redesigning. So you're capturing them right in this like sweet spot. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's important. Like you said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so huge. It's very crystal clear.
yeah.
um, so what kind of price points would you want to sell this at to
Uh,
on the ongoing, like, oh, I
yeah.
feel good, this is going to be sustainable?
So I hope you'll pardon me because I can't answer that question directly.
Sure.
Because for the price point, I would honestly split test. But I believe that most people, especially marketing professionals, when they split test, they do it wrong.
Mm.
And here's what I mean. A split test is to see which strategy, or in this case, which price point makes the most money, not what is the highest price I can charge to create a single conversion.
Mm.
So to give you an example, when Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, decided that he would build a motor car for the masses that's large enough for the family, but small enough for the individual to run and care for. By the way, guess what? When he said that he wants to create a motor car that's for the masses, that's large enough for the family, that's small enough for the individual to run and care for, it proves that he went through that process that I just talked about, where he figured out his audience's priority initiative, their success factor, their perceived barriers, and their decision criteria. So anyway, when he figured out that he wanted to do that, he decided to build a car, and he decided on two models. One model was going to be $1,000, and the other model was going to be $2,000. And by doing that, he already came in way below the market with regards to price point, because the average car at that time was like $6,500, and we're talking like 1905 right now.
Sure.
That's a lot of money, right?
A lot of cash, yeah.
He figured out that, okay, I'm going to do two models. One is $1,000, the other one is $2,000. The company sold 1,600 cars, like 1,599 to be exact cars in that year in 1905. The following year, he decided to do a split test. They didn't call it split test then, but Henry Ford was a genius, right? And he sold the first model for $600 instead of $1,000, and he sold the second model for $750 instead of $2,000. And this was the result. Basically, the result was they went from selling 1,599 cars to selling almost 8,500 cars in 1 year, which is nearly 5 times increase in revenue. And what this shows is that there's an exponential relationship between the price simplifying and the demand. So if you reduce your price by 50%, the demand does not go up by 50%. In this case, when he reduced his price by 50%, the demand went up by 500%. And the first year he did 1.5 million in revenue. The next year he did $6 million in revenue by lowering his price. How many people would think about that? That, hey, to make more money, I don't need to increase my price. To make more money, I need to cut my prices in half. So when you're split testing, this is the question you need to have in your mind. What strategy will make me the most money? Not what is the highest price point that I can create a single conversion for. So I would split test, and I would figure out which price point gives me the most revenue and profit. And for that reason, I just can't answer that right now.
Sure. Brilliant. I feel like we just got a freebie right there. That's awesome though. Plus I got to imagine that the course you might have more of a solid idea on the price on, but you have so many upsell possibilities in there that you really could customize quite a bit based on the needs. So it would be hard to answer that in this scenario as well.
Yeah. And this is just basically also, you can call it split testing, but it's also called conversion rate optimization, CRO, which is a whole nother division of what we offer in our agency for the big companies. They already know how to do messaging. They're concerned about CRO. We have 30 different versions of our landing page. We're driving 1 million users to it every week. What are the different iterations that are going to give us the best results? So that's something I think people, if they have enough traffic, would be great for them to implement in their business.
It's powerful, very powerful. How would you launch this?
So to launch something in 90 days, I would basically, it's very, very simple approach. I would hire a professional videographer. I would plan my content and delivery, and I would just basically project everything, every single thing I know at the camera every day until the whole thing was shot. And then I would hand off the videos to a professional content building team who can create slides, downloadables, checklists, PDFs, lead generating stuff, books, so on and so forth, in order to put the online course together. And I wouldn't do those things myself or do it internally, because while the professional content building team is doing that, my team and I internally would focus on creating lead generating PDFs, mini courses, free mini courses, and video ad content to basically market the course. And because it's really important to have multiple lead generating assets that point to the same direction. Because some people may download PDFs and actually read it, but many people won't. Some people will opt in to watch a free mini course that takes them to a course sales page, but many won't watch a mini video course. Some people like physical books with a free plus shipping model, but many people don't. Many people don't like to buy books or have books or read books. And if your only strategy is to have one of these things, your business is really going to suffer. Some people, I would say, like to watch short videos on Facebook that you create with a video ad funnel that take a person from one video to the next video to the next video via audience retargeting and things like that. But others don't like that. So I would create multiple during that time while the content team is creating all the assets for the course. I would create multiple lead generating opportunities for the different types of audience I know about. So I can effectively take a cold audience and transform them into a warm audience before pitching them an online course. And Facebook knows who these audiences are. I just need to create the content and let Facebook kind of do its thing when it comes to delivering the right content to the right audience.
That's very powerful, because you're focusing on the product development by just outsourcing it. And then your entire focus is on how it sells. So then you go create all these lead gen activities that just point to the actual product afterwards. So your whole focus is on how it sells rather than what you're selling.
Yeah, sure. And I think you have to look at both, right? And I'm hoping that if I give a team a really good content as a base, that the content they create will also be high quality and effective. And of course, we will have to, check that work. We'll have to do some quality assurance, that, things like that. But it's not enough to create something and put it online. The saying that if you build it, they will come is absolutely false.
Yeah.
When it comes to, marketing and business. And if you build it, they will come. I mean, absolutely false. So you need to figure out how you're going to capture your audience.
Now, what would you do with the team to make this kind of low management on your side?
So to make it low management on my side, I'm really lucky to have great people, really people who are way more talented than I am, that I've been lucky enough to basically surround myself with. And I would just create the content, and fortunately they know how to take my stuff and make it a lot better. So I will either do voice recordings and send it to them and let them turn that into a PDF and design it. I will, do a long recording and hopefully give them that so that they can turn it into a book. I would do, sequence recordings of videos so that they can turn that into Facebook ads. I would do other longer sequences of videos so that they can turn it into a free online mini course. And basically all of these things would be centered around, how do I create a paradigm shift? How do I solve some big problems? And to figure out how to now, solve their problem, they have to come to the course.
So heavy focus on the content team itself keeps it very low management. Then you've got these assets that are out there lead genning, and then they just upsell and push to the main thing you want them to buy overall, which is this online course.
Right.
Various upsells throughout.
Right. And you got to make sure that you're targeting the right type of content to the right people, right?
Mm.
So if you're targeting blue chip companies, they're not going to opt into a free PDF,
Right.
but they may see the value of a video course if it's shot really well and it's presented really well and the website looks beautiful. So that's why you got to create different lead generating opportunities for different audiences. What's the best way they like to consume content? You got to create that content, not expecting them to change to buy your services. You have to adapt.
You change for their buying behavior.
Right. And sometimes people will fall off, right? You will target people through a free series of Facebook videos, and at the end they don't take action. I think everybody knows that the money is in the retargeting, but I think what people fail to understand is you can retarget somebody in perpetuity if you have enough content, right? So if somebody doesn't convert off of the free course, show them the PDF. If they don't like the PDF, show them the sequence of video ads. If they don't like that, show them the online articles, show them the blogs, and just keep going. And as long as they're not unsubscribing from your from your email list, that means they're interested in what you say. It doesn't mean that they're reading everything you say. It doesn't mean that they're converting, but they're interested. So as long as they have shown you that they're okay with you contacting them, keep contacting them.
Ooh, powerful stuff right there. That's the new backdrop. Hey, Mehrab, this has been very, very powerful. And I just want to say thank you for this. So just to recap, you got the online course with 2 separate paths for 2 different scenarios someone might be in, targeting small, medium, large businesses. Because of that, though, you are also going to change to their buying behavior, have several different lead gen activities that upsell to that main course. I thought it was really powerful that you go through and you outsource that product development. Your content's going to be great, so why do all the repurposing yourself? Have someone else do that, and then your team focuses and you focus on the actual sales activities themselves. This has been powerful. Thank you very much for walking through this whole thing.
Of course, you're welcome, Steve, and thank you for having me on here. I just want to add one more thing, which is, if your time permits, if circumstances permit, there would be a great organic strategy also, because one of the things that course creators struggle with is always finding new audiences and converting them in a way that's cost effective and not super expensive, because to convert a cold audience is very expensive. And you can mitigate that organically by trying to stay relevant. And the way you can stay relevant is that if you're able to, if you can show up on podcasts, if you can show up on stages and talk about what you're passionate about. In my case, what I'm passionate about more than anything else is helping businesses create exceptional websites. Actually, that's going to be the headline of our new website. It's going to be exceptional websites for brands with ambition.
Cool.
So you can go around, talk about it as much as you want, appear on stage, appear on podcasts, write books, create articles, create blogs, do your own podcast, as many organic strategies as you can do to stay relevant whenever circumstances allow you to, would greatly bolster your paid advertising campaign, and your cost per conversions would come down. Your conversion rates will go up. So definitely try to augment your paid strategy with an organic strategy.
Well, I have filled an entire page full of notes and charts and so over.
I didn't even know I said that many things. So maybe a lot of those are your ideas.
Gold was falling from the ceiling, my friend. Where can people follow you and find out more from you and learn from you?
Well, I actually have a free Facebook group where I go live every Friday and do a live training. And it's either I am doing a case study. Look, this is a business I worked with. This is how I nailed their messaging, and this is how I translated their messaging onto this website.
Cool.
And this is how much money they're making. And it's something that I do completely for free every week. I don't sell any courses and I don't sell coaching, so there's no catch. You can ask the members. So if you want to learn how to create 7-figure, 8-figure funnels, even 6-figure funnels, if that interests you, I invite you to join the group. It's called Funnels and Conversions with Mehrab Reza.
It's powerful stuff. And again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're crazy busy. This has been great.
I enjoyed it. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Take care, man. Bye.